Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to my channel. Today I have something very exciting for you. This was going to be a very different video. I had, in fact, 2 recording sessions. In this fabulous new demo for a game. This is Train World. I'm very much looking forward to it, and I'll take you through some of the things I'm doing here. First of all, let's characterise the game. It is a game in the very early stages of development, I believe, hence the demo nature. And just a moment. I'm back, Clinton. I am very excited about this, as you may be able to tell. As you can tell, I'm raising my voice, talking very, very fast, and generally being just a general, a whoop of excitement and frenzy. Now, I have been playing around and experimenting a little bit with this program a little bit before. I've had a few difficulties. One difficulty is the fact that it appears my audio was not recording, so you can't hear what I was saying at the time. I assure you it was a very, very striking commentary, or something along those lines. And the second is the nature of the game. I played through the tutorial of the game, and some bits, I admit, I didn't understand. And I had been experimenting with setting up a freight line, which was something I'm very excited about. But I was having quite some difficulty with the way the game measures inclines, and more specifically, I could get to a point where I could place down a track, and it would say too steep an incline. I would adjust the incline. It would bring up this this green line that you see on the screen right now. That green line means that you can place down the line. There's no problem. And I would press the spacebar or the green arrow or tick there you can see on the screen wherever I'm playing, basically. And it would just refuse to do anything. And this was a real problem. Something I was not happy about. I'll be honest. Now, I played around a little bit more. I found a much flatter spot, so I didn't have to mess around with the incline tool. Now, as you'll find out briefly, it appears I greatly overbuilt this railway. But it's something exciting, isn't it? I think you go big, or you go without a public transportation system, as I think the saying goes. And some of the things were, of course, the fact that I didn't fully understand how the game worked. Some bits I think could have been communicated better. One problem I have here is when we come to freight lines, according to the the bit that explained the game, it told me that I needed a loop for a passenger system, one going round, and the other one going round, and past Noddle's making is really making a pig's leg out of that. But this is swiftly corrected. And now, according to the freight, talkie game wordy explain, you could have a single piece of track that would loop in on itself when it got to a station. So in between stations, you'd have one piece of track, and they would join onto itself at the end, forming an 8 of kinds. Now I believed, wrongly as it turns out, that here I would have to have a line that's going there and back, so we'd have rails adjacent to each other. Now, I believe I could have made that work if I'd added in another station. But I'll have a little bit more difficulty with that station, I'm afraid. Like I say, it's in a very early state of development, so I don't want to make any of my criticisms sound like they're big deals at the moment. Whilst it was frustrating a little bit to not understand how the game would work with inclines, and sometimes the game would just refuse to make an incline, even when the rail seemed sound. This, as I say, a very early state of development. It may not, these may not characterise the game in the future. So I look forward with hopefulness towards where this game's going. You can see here I put down some guide lines, which was I think helpful. It's very possible I could have had just a straight line from the one town to the next, and I was overcorrecting for the. I see now there's an area off to the right there of the screen that has much higher topographical problems there. So I think I had gone above and beyond with the windiness of this rail. I think what I'll do here is I'll pause my commentary, cut this bit down, and get to the next exciting part. And here we see some of the troubles I was having. It was telling me that I could create a line and I could place down a train, but the line was not electrified. This gave me a little bit of trouble. But don't you worry, we fixed it right out, and we learned that you would have to specify that the not only the rail be electrified, well, rails, as I should say, not only the rails should be electrified, but also the station. There are some things here with some of the buttons, both being on, or one being on when the other one wasn't being on, so that was something else that I struggled with a little bit, but we'll know from the future next time. Aha! Wonderful. That was the train that we tried to put down. And you can see I've noticed here that there are pantographs on the line, but there are not pantographs in the station. And that's what tipped me off there, ladies and gentlemen. So we would go on to do a little bit of finagling, which would ultimately fix the pantograph problem. Pantograph problem. It's a problem with the pantograph. Anyway, here we can see, and this line is actually quite similar to the Shinkansen, actually. Thinking about it, I was talking about the Shinkansen earlier, and fast trains, of course. Now, I made a mistake there, and I would like to say that the train, it's not called the Shinkansen per se, and I'm not sure who this per is or why they say it, but according to say and their per, of course, Shinkansen is the Japanese for main line, not the actual train. It is known to us, or me specifically, as the bullet train, although it's gone through major changes in years. Never had a dull moment though. Never had a dull moment. And here we can see this our very own kind of recreation. Now, some of the things that characterised the Shinkansen main line was the dedication to as many straight lines as possible, and if where curves were necessary, of course, are very, very, very gentle curves. To do this, the major rail infrastructure that Japan already had would be replaced entirely with a new rail line, and that would go tunnel through so much landscape there. Tunnel, bridge, go through all sorts of things to have as straight a line as possible. And the straighter the line, the easier it was for the bullet train to go fast. because of course the difficulty with manoeuvring anything along this, as trains undoubtedly do have, is the change in inertia. If we try and change the direction of something, it takes energy. So if we keep a line as liney as possible, we can increase the speed. We don't run into hunting oscillation as much. Well, I suppose hunting oscillation is a different problem. When you go too fast, of course. I should have mentioned hunting oscillation. Anyway, whereas some countries would attempt to deal with old lines that legacy lines that were that were, instead of tunnelling through landscape, would snake around, very much like this does, although much sharper terms. What they would have very sharp angles on their rails. This would be a problem, meaning you would have to go through these corners very slowly. This would you bunch up trains, you slow down the efficient movement of transport, of goods, sorry, and people. And this was seen as unideal. So Japan decided, we won't deal with that. We're going to do our own thing. Well, not their own thing, of course. But we're going to construct an entirely new rail system. Instead of messing around with tilting trains. Now that it's part of it is a shame, because I'd love to see more tilting trains. Of course, they're a fascinating part of train design. But well, if you don't need to unnecessarily complicate it, don't. As you can see here, we've solved most of our problems. And we have pantographs at both stations. We are attempting to assign a train to a line. And we'll see in a moment one of my more foolish mistakes, which I'm sure can be rectified in time. But here we go. Here we have, little digress there. We have our very first working train, everybody. Oh, it's a thing of beauty. It is a thing of beauty. I was marvelling at how wonderful an event this was, because as I say, I've been having a little bit of trouble with the demo before. And we see the majestic line, the majestic sweep of curves, the majesty of the efficient movement of cargo and people. Here, I was very impressed with the way the camera stuck to the train there, and you can still move the camera relative to the train, relative to the landscape, relatively going to that. Very nice. I was having a very close look at the photograph. The general infrastructure. You can see the other side. I just decided to go in between cars. Press details. That was a mistake, wasn't it? Right. Oh, we detached the camera from the locomotive, and that was a mistake. But we got back there, and I found one of the buttons on the keyboard would hide the interface for the user. I don't know what it's called. Which was wonderful. Unfortunately, I couldn't hide the cursor because when you moved the cursor to one side of the screen, it would move the camera. I'm sure if there aren't ways around that right now, they will be. And we've got a problem there. I was worried there, but I was very worried there. You can see me looking back, and it appears that I think that the game decided there was rail there, but it didn't decide to show it to us because the train continues on. I'll spin it up here. So I wanted to see it go round, of course. You don't make that much rail got to see it all used. And then we come on to one of the problems here. It appears that if you're making a train line for just 2 stops, you don't need to go round an entire loop. You go from one train station to the last train station and back and forth. Only one train on the line. There's no reason for it to continue round circularly. Which was a mistake on my part. But you know, it's lovely to see that it doesn't waste time, I suppose. You know, going through you could halve your rail maintenance right there. And really, what we have is a redundancy there. We could have so much more. I hope you enjoyed this look at the Train World demo. I'm looking forward to where it's going. Hopefully some of the problems I've had with it will be ironed out. Thank you very much for watching if you have been. And bye-bye you, and here we, it's a lovely day, and all that here we are now, entertain us, and got with all the time, and I would like to accept this nomination.